John, Crissy, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Kyle.
This is going to be a fun one. This is something that I was involved in when I was a wee lad, a long time ago. I wasn't involved in it very long, and I don't remember a whole lot about it, but you guys are part of the Big Brother, Big Sister of McHenry County.
Yep, absolutely.
Organization.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that in a few minutes here. How long have you guys and girl been part of the organization?
Kyle, I've been there about a year.
Same. We started like weeks apart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys got to learn together then.
We're actually birthday buddies. We're both in October.
We are. So everything's coming up. Anniversary of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, birthdays, fun things for us.
Yeah.
You got some fun things coming up then. What made each one of you decide that you wanted to work for an organization like this?
For me, I've done like the retail route and the big business, and I really wanted to get into nonprofit. And I had kind of thought about my last jobs and what was the most important and what was the most fun. And it was always like helping kids, helping them exceed. And, I looked around a little bit, and our organization's mission statement is phenomenal. And all we want to see is the potential in these young kids, young adults, and see where we can help them grow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
And I'll just bounce off of that. I guess I've always felt that I was a helper. And I think that's like the biggest reason of joining anything to do with kids is to help. And I saw it on Indeed, to be honest, and I was like, I don't think I'm qualified, but here I am. I'll go ahead and take a shot at it.
Awesome. That's always good when the thing about kids is they're so naive. They're so funny, they're so blunt.
They're great and they're innocent.
100%.
Yep.
And if you can be part of an organization that helps maybe kids that are maybe a little lost or maybe an outsider, something like that, that's just awesome. That's just awesome. Why don't we get into a little bit about what the organization is about?
Okay. Yeah. So I guess this year will be our 40th anniversary. And it basically, I think we bounced off of Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America. We started this 40 years ago, and it's all about one-to-one mentoring and helping any child in need.
Yeah.
So let me take that a little farther. What do you mean by one-on-one mentoring for those that don't know out there?
So for us, we describe it as littles and bigs. And, littles are obviously the younger or preteens, depending on the program, which I hope we get into later, Kyle. But
sure.
And then the bigs are, with our high school crowd, they can be a big, and adults are the bigs. And it's just forming that relationship between a little and a big and just helping them grow.
And that's through and it's all set up through the organization, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
if somebody's got a 9-year-old son, how can they go about saying, hey, he's struggling in this or he's not doing well in that? Maybe this organization can help us out. How would a parent or parents go about figuring out more information to get their son enrolled or involved?
That's a great question. We try to make it as easy as possible. We do a lot of recruitment, and you can call our number. You can scan our codes that are all over the place, and it brings you to an interest page of, I'm interested in one of these 4 programs. This is why. And then one of the great people on our team will reach out to you. And what we do usually is we like to talk to the parents, and then we'll set up an interview with, the adult or the little, and, figure out their background, their needs. Maybe if they're struggling in something, maybe everything's okay and they just need a friend. and we go from there, and we just try to match them based upon, similarities and what they're both interested in.
And I'll just cut in. I kind of took it off our website. So at Big Brothers Big Sisters, we match each child, which we call a little, with a mentor, big, and professionally support their relationship over time. So we
that
do
was way better than what I said. Well done, Crissy.
It was both are
So
correct.
we have program managers, and they're always willing, to help support that relationship.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, is we try to match up these bigs and littles and then be there for them every step of the way and constantly check in to make sure everything's going smooth and that everyone's enjoying it. And,
Yeah, because I'm sure this has happened, that you have a big and a little that want to talk and want to meet and want to hang out, and it might not work, right? So then you got to go to plan B. And the only way to know that it's not going to work is if you guys are heavily involved.
Correct. Trainings, education,
Yeah.
a little bit of everything.
We try to avoid that at all costs. Our final decision is a lot of legwork on our ends as caseworkers to figure out who, like on paper and together, would be the best kind of match. And then what we usually do is, we'll present, is what it's called, to the big in this situation. Hey, this is what we think would work for you. This is why. What are your thoughts? And almost all the times, like, this is great. This is going to be good. And we go from there. And we just try to avoid any of those situations where it wouldn't work out. But yeah, it's inevitable.
We're dealing with human nature here. Yeah. Everybody's
It's inevitable. Different. And sometimes you got to tag out, and, that big can find another great little and have a successful relationship there. And we bring in someone new, and it's night and day. And our job is just to cultivate that attitude and kind of respect of, this is what we're looking for, this is what we think, and see.
So our main goal is to support these relationships, but match the relationships with interest, hobbies, whatever the child is looking for and needs in their life is really like the type of mentor we're reaching out and matching them with.
Trying to find the right mentor. Yeah, trying to find the right mentor for the right little is what is
Yep.
what it all boils down to.
Absolutely.
Now, let's see, how do I want to word this? If somebody wants to be a big, right, it's the same way. They got to contact you, then you guys sit down and have that meeting, correct?
Yeah, it depends how. We do a lot of recruitment. Like I said before, I'm in charge of the high school recruitment, so I try to get in as many schools as I can and just say hey, this is what we're doing. And we also do a lot of community recruitments where we just try to get our name out there, and we go to all these different events to find, adult bigs that want to do it. And it's the same kind of process where we have a lengthy but accurate interview, and then if it's going to be a good fit, then we do our safety training, and from that, then we're all kind of looking through trying to find who's going to best match,
Yeah. Who's going to match Kyle, or who's going to match Crissy, or who's going to match John.
You'll get a big that's like, what, I really don't like outdoorsy stuff. I like, maybe staying in, maybe playing board games or arts and crafts. So obviously you're going to try to find a little
that likes the same stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
That just makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny, the matching. I don't do anything with that, but when I hear them and I hear them talk about matching kids, I'm like, oh, that seems so simple, but it's not. It's not.
It's kind of like I said, there's so many different humans are different in a lot of ways.
Yes.
So to find two people that have a lot in common, they don't have to have everything in common, but to find a lot in common in today's world, it's a little bit tougher.
Correct. Yes.
Everybody's childhood is different than everybody else's. So when you're sitting down and you're looking at, okay, we got this interview done, we know this person's likes, dislikes, so on. It's like, okay, well now we have a little that likes some of these things, but not enough to say they're a match.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So then you got to move forward. Okay, let's see if we can find another one.
It's also great that we get to talk to, a parent or guardian in that situation, or maybe a social worker where they go to school to get the ins and outs and figure out what their needs are. And, because you go through these and you try to make, both bigs and littles feel as comfortable as possible. But,
Absolutely.
Kind of just like how this is, it's a little nerve-wracking, and you just try to make them feel as comfortable as you can.
100%.
It comes down to research. It really does.
And making sure you guys are doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's our programs, like the 4 different programs that
we
we
should go
have.
into that.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Really, probably, they matter the most. Like, I don't know how to explain it as well, but
Well, why don't you break it down for me? So there's 4 different programs.
there's 4 programs, correct. Mm-hmm.
Break them down for
a
me.
community-based program, which is like our traditional program that
That's
started
usually
the
what-
big
yeah, that's
brothers
usually
and
what
big
people think of.
sisters.
Yeah.
And that is any 2 big little matches in the community. They can go anywhere in the community, at home, different places, organizations, community events. So they are matched differently than, say, somebody in our after-school program.
Going into that, our after-school program is kind of what I brought up earlier. This is what I'm in charge of for recruitment, and I'm fascinated by it, and it's such a great program. It's finding high schoolers, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, in the major high schools in McHenry County, and matching them with a little, either in elementary school or junior high. And I cannot tell you the joy it brings these littles that they get to hang out with someone in high school that's not like getting paid, that wants to be there. Like, it's so cool. I wish I had something like this when I was growing up. It's fascinating to see. And there is a lot of legwork when it comes to that. The same kind of thing when you're just trying to match someone perfectly, because, high schoolers, they're grown up more, but, they're still kids. And so, they're worried. And so that anytime we have an after-school program, there's always someone like me, a case manager that's there on site, just making sure that all the matches go smooth and people are happy, and, breaking the ice in the beginning. And then, after a couple weeks, with everyone kind of being nervous, it just takes a life on its own, and you just see this grow into
A friendship, relationship.
Both the littles and the
Mentor,
bigs start looking forward to whatever day, and it's only 1 hour a week.
Okay, I was just going to ask. So for the after-school program, it's 1 hour a week. Now,
Yes.
what are some activities these bigs and littles can do while they're after school for that 1 hour a week?
Our general activities is we've got usually a gym at the school or going outside, and what I like to bring is a bunch of different arts and crafts that change week to week. I'll bring every single ball you can imagine, soccer, basketball, because you never know what they're going to want to do, or they go through them all in a day.
Legos, board games, tutoring, anything the child needs, or, their basic interest.
Yeah, you try to find out what they like, and then we go out of our way to, all right, let's make sure we have that, or we can get it, because it's all about cultivating that relationship and building the
100%.
trust.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And that's, now is that one specific night a week, or does that?
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
every school has like a different day or evening, I guess.
And
So
McHenry
3, 4,
County,
4 to 5, something like
Yeah,
that.
in McHenry County, it's pretty fun because some schools end at 2:30, some end at 3, some end at 3:30. So it's always based upon whatever elementary school and
High school that you can get that.
You end at 3:15. Our program at that school started at 3:30. But then not only do we have to find them a good high school match, we got to make sure that the high school gets done before that time. So there's some logistics involved, of course.
Oh, I can imagine the logistics you guys got to go through.
Here in Harvard, it works pretty good. We have
Harvard
the
is
high school
great.
that can just walk down to Jefferson. We don't have anything at the junior high yet, but who knows? That might be coming. But
And by the way, if anyone's listening, we do need bigs
at
from
Harvard
Harvard
High School.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I knew that was going to come up too. But
a little premature on that.
it's okay. It's okay. So we got the community program, the after school program.
Yep. Another one is a lunchtime program. This one's a little more easygoing, I guess I would say. That's meeting the child during their lunch break once a week.
Yep.
And the big just goes in and does the same thing. Most schools will have it in like a community room or something, an office, somewhere different than the actual lunchroom.
Cafeteria.
Yeah. So that I guess is a pretty I don't want to say easy, but it's easy to volunteer. There's not as big of a commitment. You're only going once a week.
For a half hour, it sounds like,
during
right?
the school year.
Usually about 45 minutes.
Yep.
And it's great because you get to sit down, you get to eat with this little, talk about their day, how it's going, if some, their kids, maybe something happened that day, and it's an adult in that room that is not judging, just being supportive.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
who wouldn't love that?
Right, and it could be maybe the kid's having a great day.
Yeah, and then you get to tell, and you're excited to talk about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And honestly, they're excited that an adult is there paying attention to them.
And they want to be there, and they want to be there for them. Yeah, it's a game changer.
Because I don't think they had that when I was in junior high and high school. I don't think they had the luncheon thing. They just had the after school, which also makes sense too for parents, right? Because if all of a sudden you got a kid that wants to be a big, but they're a 3-sport athlete, that makes it pretty tough to say, hey, you're not going to go to
correct
basketball practice or softball practice or volleyball practice or football practice because you got to do this every Tuesday or every Thursday or whatever too. So the luncheon makes a lot of sense for somebody like that as well.
Yeah, and also what we found out is that at least in our after-school program, that a lot of these coaches care just as much as we do.
Awesome. Great.
And so it is okay once a week to maybe miss a practice, and we try to plan it out so it's not on any games. And, it's not like it's...
A lot of logistics involved.
It's a lot of logistics, and, I don't want to turn anyone away because we do want people to be consistent, but it's not like, you have a huge game coming up. That's when you just tell your little, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss this. There's a big game. And as long as you let them know, it's good luck.
Communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How about the fourth program?
That would be our Big Futures. So this program is fairly new to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, it's our newest. Yeah.
And that just is... we call them mentees rather than littles because not all 14 to 26-year-old wants to be called a little. But they, in this, we just give the additional support and guidance to help them make educational and career decisions. Like, there's so many counselors at the school, but not enough. So this is just like an additional counselor, mentor, person to bounce your ideas off. Maybe they're not ready for a 4-year college right after high school. Maybe they're not ready to get in the workforce, but this is someone that can give them that guidance and maybe answer questions and help them prepare for the future.
And you said that was from, I'm sorry, you said
14 to 26-year-olds.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What we try to do is, I don't know, Kyle, if you're anything like me, like at 14, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
I still don't know what I want to do.
Right?
And that's
36.
Fine. That's fine. And you meet a lot of mentees, as she said. So what's great about this program is, let's say you're thinking about, computer design. What we try to do with this program is we would match you with someone that is in the same field as that. So not only do you get to talk to them and figure out what their day-to-day life is like, but you get to figure out, what did they have to do to get here?
Yeah, so basically...
Just figure out if it is for you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So if somebody wanted to, like you said, graphic design, and Crissy's a graphic designer, and I'm a 15-year-old kid, we might be able to talk and be like, hey, I can ask her a bunch of questions. How was college? What did you do to get to where you're at today? Are you happy with the decision you made? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So you're going to help, theoretically, you would help me out in that specific situation.
It's
like,
great
when I
for
was-
career planning and
Yeah.
like workforce development. Maybe it's not college, maybe it's a career. You get a glimpse into that life as well.
A trade school or union
many
operator,
options.
and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so many options that kids just don't realize.
Yeah.
Like, you have one parent telling you to go, to college. You have someone else telling you that maybe you're not ready for college. You have your own ideas of what you want to do when you get older that probably at 14, 16, 18, it's not what you're really going to be. So it's just someone else there to listen to your ideas and help you move forward. If it is something you want to do, but
Exactly.
if not, like, they can still walk you through that.
Yeah,
which is
because I think we all know here that not everybody's meant for college. I wasn't meant for college. I know that.
Same.
I went to college and I was like, screw this. It's my personal opinion. That was just me. So I took a different path.
People need to know there are options out there.
Right, wrong, or otherwise, I took a path. So now if you've got people that have taken all of the diversity of whatever path they took out of high school, you're going to have that diversity to help somebody who might need some direction. In that, what was that class called, or what was that program called?
Big Futures.
Big Futures.
Big Futures. And it not only helps with, the mentee, but there's manufacturing businesses. There's other businesses that really just are willing to share their information. So it's just a good program, that they started for these kids who just are unsure of what
McHenry County is
do.
absolutely fantastic to us. The amount of
Support.
the amount they care and want to help the cause is phenomenal. And I mean, it's all volunteer based. It's
Now, you guys are, this organization is only in McHenry County.
only in McHenry
Is
County.
who you
yes.
guys work with.
Yes.
And that's for littles and bigs?
The bigs, we can
Is that a
accept.
gray area?
I know. The kids are definitely all McHenry
Yes, the
County.
kids all have to be here,
We have a wait list of about 50 kids looking for a mentor. So we don't really discourage anybody that would want to volunteer to be a mentor outside of McHenry County if they're willing to travel and go ahead and support that, one-to-one mentoring here in McHenry County. There's a lot of outside neighborhoods that maybe don't even have a Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we would accept bigs outside of the county, but the littles we serve are definitely in McHenry County.
What about I already forgot it. The fourth program that you had, the Futures one.
Futures.
Yeah, big futures.
Yeah.
So is that still strictly in McHenry County then?
That I don't have an answer.
You
to
know, in
that
case you have
question.
an 18-year-old that's thinking about going to college and they're part of this program, is that something?
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do our absolute best to try to find you someone.
Perfect.
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
like you
so we're
brought
not
up
just-
earlier about that gray area. What we want to do is just help
Yeah.
these kids, young
Match
teens.
them with the right person.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking like
Find them a place they feel
if
home.
you've got an 18-year-old who's technically an adult now, but still want to be part of your program and still is maybe going to a community college and can reach out to you guys to help
Yep.
out, and maybe you can move forward with
If
that.
this program existed, I would have done it. Because, when I started school, I just did the gen eds, and I'm like, what? What's next, what's next for old Johnny boy? I do not know.
And here you are
Yeah.
in a nice organization. Can you guys
great.
work with other Big Brother Big Sister foundations around the area? Like if you have somebody that says, hey, they are part of this program and they're going to Ohio State for college.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is probably like one of the most supportive organizations that I've ever come in contact with. We do have a workforce. I don't know if it's considered a blog or what exactly it is, but there's lots of people out there that, ask a question and someone's always willing to answer that question through another organization.
Gotcha.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
We have
I
to
guess.
work
So,
with
yes.
each other because, our goal is how can we help?
Yeah.
What can we do to make this work? So,
That's great. And now you guys, I know you brought it up earlier, and you brought it up earlier too. You guys are looking for some bigs, correct?
Definitely in our community based, our lunchtime, all after school. I need a lot of teens in high school and big futures across the board. We do have a waiting list. We do have quite a few matches now, and it's fantastic to see. It warms your heart. I can only speak to much of the high school recruitment, and it really helps these kids get a sense of leadership themselves. Plus, let's be honest, it's going to look great on a resume or when you're filling out an essay for college, like that you've done this program and you care about it. Like, there's so many reasons to do it. And a lot of like the newer organizations in these high schools that have these clubs, they want you to get volunteer hours. And we're one of those that can honor that. And just to see the growth between the little and the big, absolutely. But yeah, across the board.
Our recruitment is definitely across the board. We do have a wait list, and anytime we do tabling events, there is a lot more, hey, my kid might be interested, or I think my kid should join the program. There's not as many adults that come up and say, oh, I want to help, I want to give, I want to be a mentor. So that's kind of why we came here, as another reason or another way to get out there and talk about the recruitment and say, hey, please come join us. Kids are looking for a buddy. Just come be a buddy. I mean, it's a simple, it takes little to be big is our newest motto, I guess. Be big. So,
and I think people get scared off sometimes when maybe they don't know what we do, and what we do is try to
what the
change
commitment is. Mm-hmm.
Try to change children's lives. When I'm recruiting, I always ask everyone that walks past, hey, you want to help change the world? And I mean it, because you will.
You can. Absolutely.
That goes for teenagers and adults. And I mean, you're only spending, 2 to 6 hours a month. Like it's
not that much time.
It's easy. And then people might get overwhelmed by the application process, but it's not. If you show interest, someone will reach out to you probably the next day and just say, hey, here's a little application to fill out. And then, like I said, you come in for the interview and the safety training, which doesn't usually take more than an hour and a half. And that's just because we really want to get to know that person and the strengths and how they would best be fit. And
we just want to give them a proper education, right? Not everybody's used to dealing with kids on a daily basis. So here, this is how it is.
Even if you don't think you are, you probably are. Or maybe you might be awkward. No. We give you that training, and we're there, obviously, the first time they meet, always, and help it run smooth. And
the support of the organization is wonderful.
Maybe you guys said it and I missed it. And if you did, I apologize. When the after school program, is there always adults there in the room?
Yes, there's always the case manager there.
Okay. Maybe you said it and I missed it. I just didn't recall.
Well, this is your podcast. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. But people that are listening know. They know, Kyle.
They're probably like, you already asked that question, dummy.
For the
brought it up 4 times. No.
For the after school program, yes, there is always an adult that's there. The community based and all that. That's more of on your own time. Weekends, nights, whenever you can meet up with your little. But the support is always there. You have someone you can contact.
And the first time you meet, usually both parties are a little anxious, I would say.
Absolutely.
You always have someone there that knows and has dealt with these situations that will have your back and have the little's back. And
this podcast episode is sponsored by Dan's Diesel Performance. If you're looking to improve your truck's performance, efficiency, or appearance, check out Dan's Diesel Performance. They manufacture turbochargers, fuel injectors, fuel pumps, transmissions, intake piping, and much, much more. Plus, they offer all the top brands in the diesel industry. They're located in Mchenry Park, Illinois. Visit their website at dans-diesel.com dieselperformance.com or give them a call at 815-977-5865. Well, hey, we're back after a little break there. And a couple of questions that we've kind of been thinking about here. Mm-hmm. You guys said before that, you guys said before that there's always an adult at all times, whether it's the luncheons, whether it's after school. Is there anything that do you guys have like barometrics or something that you set up to say, hey, after 2 weeks, we're going to talk to the kids, make sure everything's going good. We're going to talk to the parents, make sure everybody's enjoying themselves. How does all that? I'm assuming there's something in play for there too, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Our greatest job is, to protect and help these kids grow. So our style is anytime you have a first meeting, little or big, you'll always have someone from our organization there to make sure things run smoothly and, things can get awkward, and they're there to help facilitate. Our only program that's consistent is after school, because most of the time, both the little and the big are under 18. So we need to be there. Also, we're using a lot of the school grounds, so we want to make sure everything is safe and fun and getting along great. Now, with our other 3 programs, like I said, they'll do the opener and they make sure things run smooth. But then after that, including with after school, we do monthly check-ins when it comes to, the little, the big. We do check-ins with the parents just to make sure everything's in place and people are enjoying and liking it. And we just want to keep people safe. We want to keep people having fun and just be supportive in any way we can in case we need help in any situation.
So is that like somebody that does that, or does the recruiter so let's just say you recruited somebody, is that your job then to check in for them so they know that they're talking to the same familiar voice, the same familiar face?
I wouldn't say recruiter, I would say case manager.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Just because it's a separate entity.
I might have misspoken there.
I'm both, and there's a couple people that are both. But yes, your case manager, you have known and have introduced and is there at your site. They're the one that will be calling in and ask you like some basic questions, some fun questions, some serious questions, just to make sure everything's running smooth.
Yeah. Got that.
And so when I first started, I guess my job was more of like the development side, so I didn't have anything to do with the programming. However, we as an organization kind of make everybody learn each other's job. I started out meeting every case manager, every person in our office. They kind of explained what they did. And then I did go out to Jefferson, which, because I'm here in Harvard, they sent me to Jefferson. And that was really an eye-opener for me.
You get to kind of see how the program works and what it's all about.
So, I got you.
Yes.
So it was an eye-opener. And then towards the end of the school year, I went back and kind of saw where these like relationships, mentorships progressed from the beginning to the end. So it was super great to see. And I could also ask these questions that these case managers, interns, I guess at that point too, were asking the kids and their bigs, like, oh, what's one thing you enjoy with your big? I guess I don't know all the questions, but that was fun to see.
Well, they change month to month. We try to keep it up to date. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they do on a monthly basis ask the big and the little, and I think even maybe the parents.
We check in with the parents usually about once a semester. I mean, after the match is made, I'm getting ahead of myself. When we're making the match, we'll check in with the parents just to make sure everything's ready to go and what they think. And then after they've met twice, we'll check in again with the parents and then kind of let them know, like, we're here. We're always the support system. Anyone here will help you. Any concerns, or even when you have like fun stories to tell, or the kid comes back, it's like, oh my God, I had so much fun doing whatever. Like, we'd love to hear those stories. Let us know.
The second question I have is you guys said that you're always going out and promoting this. What are some places that you guys are at? Places you go, festivals? Talk about that maybe a little bit.
All right, well, I'll start off with our media presence as we try to get on a lot of social media just to get our name out there and let people know kind of what we're doing day to day, what we need, where we're looking for bigs, or as a whole, as you know, we've got that list of 50, so we're looking for bigs. Our media presence is huge. Not only that, Crissy, I'm sure you can speak to the community.
Yeah, sure. We do tabling events. Anytime somebody has an event, we go to farmers markets. We have a lot of people that are willing to do third-party events for us. So recently we just participated in the Ice Cream Fest in Crystal Lake.
Oh, cool.
Where we had a table, but not only that, people from Big Brothers Big Sisters volunteered to help out there. We did the Lakeside Fest in Crystal Lake. There's a bunch of third-party events that we volunteer, and sometimes we get some of the money back for our organization because we are not federally funded. So most of our money to run this organization comes from donations or volunteering, third-party events, things like that. So
I was just going to ask so there are other ways to help out.
Absolutely.
Instead of being a big or a little or a mentor or anything like that.
Yeah. If you don't want to be a mentor, we have events. We have a golf outing that we do once a year, actually twice a year. And then we have our gala, which is kind of like a black tie event.
Yeah, it's a really nice, absolutely ridiculously fun event where we get to honor past matches who we think that year has made match of the year, which is obviously
That's
a
pretty
great
cool.
title. It's pretty awesome because
we have
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a bowl for kids' sake, so that's a weekend-long event where we bowl. For fundraising, I guess.
Heck yeah.
Wait, so you mean to tell me at the bowl for kids we're bowling?
Well, I didn't bowl, but, that's the whole event. People come to support us and bowl.
I just throw gutters. No one wants to watch me.
Yeah.
They make bumpers.
Oh, I'll find a way past. The community is fantastic we work with. They allow us a lot of places. We work a lot with MCC, McHenry County College. And for me and my recruitment with the high schools, they're fantastic about, kind of pushing the program, what we're about, and finding these, young adults, teenagers that want to help. And they allow me and my team to go in there and do, tabling setups or lunchrooms or speak in front of, National Honor Society or the numerous other clubs that they have.
Sporting events and things like that you're allowed to go to and set a table up?
We're allowed to go a lot of things, and
Good.
They really look out for us.
Awesome.
They know the amount of help we're doing in the community, and it shows. So it's fantastic.
That is awesome news. That's great that they're working with you guys to be able to do these things, because that doesn't mean it's going to happen everywhere, but in your specific situations with this organization, it's glad that these high schools and colleges and stuff are saying, hey, we got your back.
Very supportive, yeah.
Yeah, we got your back to do this.
I think it's slowly being seen the impact it has on these kids and young adults that get to go through our programs and the influence it has done to change, their trajectory in life towards something more positive or something better, or give them an idea of where they want to go next.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And what you guys do, too, is great. Putting your time in and your effort to go out there and try to find all these recruits and to try to find the funding and try to find people that'll volunteer. That's not an easy thing to do either, what you guys do. So
yeah, I really like talking to people, and I like meeting new people. I really do.
So it's right up your alley then, what you're doing.
Yeah. I love it.
He's great at it. Great.
That's awesome.
Quotes. I'm trying my best.
Hey, sometimes that's all we can all ask for,
Yeah,
right?
I've just met a lot of fantastic people through it.
I think that's the fun thing about something like this is you get to meet a whole variety of different people. Whether it's the bigs and the littles, they probably would have never found each other. They probably would have never hung out or talked about whatever the heck they have in common. In your guys' situation, you get to meet parents, guardians, kids that are just awesome people in general that you would have never went out of your way to find that.
What I always love to say is that obviously I love to talk to people and meet people, but it's the fact that you get to see these relationships and mentorships grow and matches grow together. And, we're not saying it lasts for a year. I mean, some of these relationships have been going on years and years and years. It's tough to ever come back home and say, I've had a bad day, because it'd be a lie, because almost every day is fantastic and fun and enjoyable. And to see how, the bigs in our community are affecting their littles' lives. It takes your breath away.
Yeah, the stories are unbelievable to hear about, to see about, not only our organization, but other big brothers, big sisters. Like, I love going on and watching, their relationships, and it just gives us ideas and hope for all these kids to have this mentoring relationship with someone other than
family.
A parent.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what you need as a kid or even a teen. Like, you just need an outsider that, like, doesn't know all aspects. They're just like, I'm here for you. What's going on? Let's just be in,
Yeah, it's being a good friend.
Yes.
It's what it is.
A trusted advisor, if you will.
I was just going to say an advisor as well, because at the end of the day, some people don't want to talk to their family about certain things, right?
Absolutely.
So now it's like, hey, I got this person that I trust. We can have this conversation. It's not going anywhere. I know it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay between us, and he's going to help, or she's going to help me, point me in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole idea between finding these matches, is just building that trust to whatever comes next. And there's been a lot of successful programs that have, the littles or bigs have been together for years and years, and they've aged out, but they still want to talk and get together. And that's fine, when you're out of the program, but they care about it that much is just
it could be a lifelong friendship.
Yeah, the reality
Absolutely.
of it all.
It could be a lifelong friendship that never would have happened without an organization like this.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky to be a part of it, and we're pretty lucky that the community has been so great to us.
I'm glad to hear all that. I really am.
Yeah.
I really am.
Well, I can't say enough thanks, Kyle,
Of course.
for having us on.
Of course.
Not saying we're done. Kind of premature, but I just want that known. This is utterly fantastic that you do this.
Not
Yes.
a problem. Not a problem. I like to spread the word on stuff like this. I think it's good for the community. I think it's good for people. I think it's just an awesome thing. So if I can help spread the word.
There's legitimately no downside to.
We have a website. We have a Facebook page.
Yep.
Reach out. Any questions can be answered.
If you at all want to call, we're 815-385-3855. Someone that cares a lot will always answer.
That's wonderful. Anything else we need to discuss? Anything else we need to hit on? It's an open mic now.
I'm kind of at a loss.
I want to get back to
I mean, the need for mentors, like, that is really why we're here is, we can get kids all day long that are interested in the program, but without the adult mentors or even the high school mentors, we just can't keep going. So we're really here to encourage anyone that's interested or,
Oh, that's such a good word, encourage, because if you've been on the fence, jump into it. It's so easy, the process, and it's so much fun, and what you gain from it, even though that's not what it's about, it's unparalleled whatsoever. I mean, you get to watch this child grow and create that trust and help, and it's fantastic.
Sounds fantastic.
I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. So if there's anybody out there that's interested, contact them, get a hold of them.
Yeah.
They'll point you in the right direction.
Our website, Facebook, that number I gave, we will take care of you and we'll find you something great.
Sounds like a plan. John, Crissy, thanks for coming.
Awesome.
It's good to see you guys.
Thank you, Kyle.
Until next time.
All right.
All right.